You know, social entrepreneurship in Seattle is truly, truly a special place. Right now we're sitting in probably the epicenter of social entrepreneurship in the world. And Seattle itself has really committed itself on various levels and throughout various segments of the community as truly a leader in social innovation and entrepreneurial spirit.
Because there's a culture here of social justice, of environmentalism, of creating a localized food system. We're now at this point where there's just a lot of people that are here doing that work.
So the mission deeply moves me, and the way to deliver upon that mission in a way that's like scalable and sustainable is having a business model.
The thing that bothered us most was the Friedman principle. The idea that it's immoral to do anything for the community, that it's immoral to do anything for the future, that it's immoral to do anything for the environment if it takes a penny away from shareholders. Now, if business were a little 5-people operations, maybe that would be okay. But business is driving the show now. And so it's very important that business people take that broader responsibility. So that's what we started out to change primarily, was how do we get it so that people understand that they have a broader responsibility? And also, how do we get it so that they understand that this is actually good business?
Stockbox started out as a grad school project at the Bainbridge Graduate Institute. There was a team of 4 of us, and we came around the idea of wanting to do something about food, the problem of food access. It's a problem because grocery stores are not located in those areas, in food desert areas, so there's a huge market opportunity for a small format store to fill in the gaps.
So urban areas are typically defined as being a food desert if they don't have a grocery store within a mile of the community. And even though many of these communities may have a convenience store or something similar to that, those stores are typically focused on beer and wine and junk food and cigarettes. And they're not focused on food, or at least fresh food items. And that's where Stockbox is trying to make an impact. We're trying to focus on the fresh foods that people buy most often.
One of the great discoveries about entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurs are less money motivated than executives.
Well, I guess for me, I'm not really interested in making as much money as I can.
And we want to make money, but there's also an awesome balance between helping people and making great profits.
We're thinking about really big things. It's tough to balance the big dreaming with getting things done on a day-to-day basis as well. That's another privilege of working in this space.
What is driving them is a vision of something which is wrong that they can fix. And yes, they keep score and money, and they want money just like everybody else. We all want money, but they're not unusually greedy.
But you won't wake up early in the morning to start working on it if that's the only thing that drives you to do it.
They are unusually vision-driven, unusually purpose-driven, and that fits very well. If we want to build a better society, we need entrepreneurs who have a bigger vision.
I think that's what we're trying to build, and I think that's what's different about Stockbox, is creating that space for the community to come together. And it's partly the food that we stock on the shelves, but it's partly hiring people from the community and creating tools for people to connect.
Well, Seattle is a very outdoor community, and so I think that's part of the Seattle worldview, is that we have to do something to protect this beautiful part of the country that we live in.
So our current project is called Grow Community. It's on Bainbridge Island on 8 acres in the urban area. It's a walkable community built to One Planet community standards. The idea here is that residents can live within the ecological footprint of One Planet while they're living here in this development, in this community. It's a very intentional community design focused on sustainable lifestyles.
So I think there's scorecards both on the social mission and on the financial mission. I think we make a mistake if we think that social enterprise can't have a good financial return, because then it's always going to be a kind of a bywater over in the side of society.
I guess for me, it's important because it's always been my feeling that it can be done and it should be done. So So we decided to create this project and go to the extent that we did with sustainability to prove that it could be done, that we could build net zero energy homes powered entirely by solar in Washington state and build them at a market competitive price and sell the homes at a market competitive price.
This has to actually work in the market economy for it to really transform the way things are. And I believe that because entrepreneurs are driven by a passion to do something worthwhile, we can have that energy focused more today on doing the things which need to be done than we have in the past.
I think when we're successful, we will make plenty of money. I truly do think that if you create something that's valuable to people, that they appreciate, and makes their lives better, the revenue and the money that you create will come.
And clearly, if you take a step back and look at where the power lies in the world between governments and individuals and NGOs and whatnot, business, for-profit institutions have the greatest footprint and the greatest effect on life around the world. And so if we can harness that power and do some good through that means, then yeah, I agree that we can make a huge change in the world.
Everything about our society is going to have to change to deal with the problems that we have today. We're going to have to do things very, very differently. That requires an enormous amount of innovation. And that enormous amount of innovation can only take place if there are entrepreneurs to make it happen.